Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
But yeah, right on. Let's go with you, Blood. What you got?
All right. I have two honorable mentions. I don't need to explain them why. I'm just going to say who they are. My two honorable mentions is the first women's wrestler that caught my attention and actually kind of shaped my taste in women, and Lita. Lita I came into wrestling around 2001-ish to 3-ish because my brother got me into it. And Lita was one of the first people I'd ever seen on a WWE or WWF screen. And the full sleeve tattoos, just that punk rock grunge, there was something about it that just light bulb. And I was like, I like this. And then, but Lita has always been probably my favorite women's Hall of Famer. My second honorable mention is Paige. Paige was the new age anti-diva. And there was something so different about her, so different. At the time, we were at the height of the Divas era, and the Divas era was horrible. But then there was Paige, this goth diamond in the rough, who could not only talk, and she was a great talker, she could wrestle. And she was wrestling since she was about 14 or 15 years old, trained by her own family, who were all wrestlers as well. It was her dream. And I was captivated because I was like, there's everything about this chick I'm into. And third honorable mention, because she didn't get to make the list, my favorite, or my second favorite women's wrestler of all time is AJ Lee. AJ flipped the game and was honestly, people give all this credit to Stephanie McMahon. No. The women's revolution started with AJ Lee. She famously went out and cut a promo on every single diva and called every single woman out and told them that you are what's wrong with women's wrestling. And she had even tweeted about it before Stephanie took the credit. And this is after CM Punk had already left the company. And within that same year before AJ has her last match at Mania, AJ was kind of on the back foot with WWE for trying to stand up for women. But it was because of AJ that hashtag Give Divas a Chance trended, because AJ was the catalyst that started that. Her and Punk are a match made in heaven. He was the catalyst for change, and so is AJ Lee. And now, thanks to AJ Lee, when she exited, we started getting more of the Charlottes, more of the Baileys, more of the Sashas, more of the Beckys. It took Becky a little longer to catch fire, but those three women massively influenced what we know today in women's professional wrestling. Now for my number four, my favorite, my actual Mount Rushmore, my favorite women's wrestler of all time is Charlotte.
Wait a minute, you guys are cheating now. This isn't Mount Rushmore. You guys are naming like fucking 6-7 people now. What is this?
This was my idea. Suck it. Now, as far as it's concerned, Charlotte Flair is my favorite women's wrestler of all time. Top to bottom, you cannot change my mind. There is not a single woman on this planet today that is anywhere near her level in the ring, presentation-wise, pedigree, athleticism, and consistency across the board. The most women's championships of any woman in history. Okay? The most reliable women's Mania fucking wrestler, period, is Charlotte Flair. Name one woman in wrestling history that has put on more great 4 to 5 star tier matches on the grandest stage of them all more than Charlotte Flair. She delivers every single time. My favorite women's wrestling match of all time is her versus Rhea WrestleMania 40. It was literally one of the greatest matches I've ever seen, period, not just women. And wow. Plus, I've gotten to wrestle with Ric Flair in a 6-man tag 12 years ago in upstate Georgia.
Blood, so, that was in 40.
It was 39?
That was 39 in Hollywood.
39. Okay, thank you. It feels like last year. But But as far as it's concerned, talk about a goddamn barn burner, okay? But I've had a soft spot in my heart for the Flairs, always will. I got to take a famous Ric Flair shot to the balls when I wrestled him in a 6-man tag in upstate Georgia 12 years ago, and jobbed out to him while Raw was being held in Atlanta. He was hitting his old tri-state stomping grounds, and I got to actually get in the ring with him at our promotion.
Wait, Blood, you were a former professional wrestler?
Don't you have Solo's meat to ride? Look, but because he's waiting for you. My third Mount Rushmore pick is a difficult one because I wasn't sure if I should put him in this place or the other one in this place, and I can't tie because it's against the rules. So I'm gonna have to pick Jeff Hardy because it was going to be Shawn Michaels. But Jeff Hardy, because Jeff Hardy was the wrestler next to The Rock that got me into professional wrestling. The first ever wrestling action figure I ever owned was the security guard Rock action figure. I got it for my birthday. The same day I got it for my birthday, I went to the beach with my aunt, dropped it in the water, tried to grab it in the rip current, pulled that toy out 2 hours after I got it from Toys R Us. Broke my fucking heart. But literally, aside from The Rock and the Sting action figure on his motorcycle being the first 2 wrestling figures I ever owned, the third figure I ever owned was Jeff Hardy. But the first wrestler I fell in love with was Jeff Hardy. From his style, to his movement, to his face paint, to his hardcore antics, to his daredevil attitude, to caution to the wind, and his heart, his fucking heart. I'll never forget him versus Undertaker and him not backing down. That promo where he goes, hey, I'm not finished with you. I'm still standing. Gave me goosebumps. The Undertaker gets in that ring, grabs him by the hair, holds him up against the ropes, and Jeff is still half conscious with his fists up. And he stands back and he helps Jeff lean up against the ropes, pats him on the shoulder and goes, you're one tough son of a bitch. I've never forgotten that. I love Jeff for the same reasons I love Lita. It'll always be Jeff. He will be my favorite wrestler of all time. Number 2, and this one was easy. It's Randy Orton. Randy Orton deserves to be on Mount Rushmore for a multitude of reasons, but I think the most glaring reason is his loyalty and longevity. There is no one tied to WWE today that has remained anywhere near as consistent, on the ball, helpful, loyal, and just a straight, consummate professional longer than Randy Orton, except for The Undertaker. John Cena bowed out on a full-time contract 5 years ago. Randy's still on a full-time contract. The Undertaker bowed out of a full-time contract a decade ago. Randy, in my opinion, is in the last 30 years is the longest running, most consistent professional wrestler in WWE that came and never fucking left. Because it would have been Rey Mysterio, but he left.
Yeah, he left.
But Randy, since 2000, training with FCW and Ohio Valley Wrestling, fucking literally coming up in the same class of a John Cena, of a Batista, of a fucking Brock Lesnar. Debuts in 2002. To now, 23 fucking years in the main roster, 25 years on a contract. He's still fucking here. Still getting better. Still crisp. Still in the conversation for the greatest finisher of all time. And man, I love when he goes overseas and they sing his theme song because, man, you really see how much people love him. So Randy has to be there. First ballot Hall of Famer. You can fight me on it, and I swear you'll lose. And number 1, my second favorite wrestler of all time, but in my opinion, the most important professional wrestler of all time, in my opinion, CM Punk is my all-time GOAT. Jeff's my favorite, but CM Punk's my favorite. My ringtone's fucking Cult of Personality, for Christ's sakes. Okay? CM Punk from Ring of Honor, like me, he was a backyard wrestler. And I've always loved him for being a guy, because in the business, if you're a backyard wrestler, you come from a backyard wrestling background, people hate on you so hard for it. You get a lot of flack. They hate it. He's that guy that I respect, because I learned how to not give a fuck what people think or care what people think about me from Punk. That's who I got that from. Throughout middle school and high school, seeing how he stood up for himself, didn't care, marched the beat of his own drum his own way, and would never let someone peer pressure him. I got that shit from fucking Punk. I found Punk when I fell in love with rock music and punk music in 2007. Okay? And when I look at CM Punk, I look at a guy who, at the age of, 46, 47 years old, is still in there following his dreams, finally capturing his biggest dream of all time at WrestleMania 41. But literally, never once rested on his laurels, never once betrayed what he believed in, never once let anyone, no matter how much money was on the table, walk all over him without burning the fucking street down behind him. He's the best fucking talker of his entire generation. And in my opinion, I think he's the best talker of the generation before him. I think he's better than anybody in the I think he's better on the mic than The Rock. Because you got to understand, what was it he said to The Rock? And you're swinging for the fences, but you're going to step in the ring with me and realize that you can't box with God. He is, bar none, in my opinion, the most important professional wrestler, even more than Roman, of the last decade and a half, because of his impact. They never stopped cheering for him. That's how much he means to people. They never stopped. A whole other company built them a whole show just so he could star on it. And now that he's gone, they're closing that Saturday night show down at AEW. That tells you the impact that he has on the business. But that's my Mount Rushmore list.
That line that CM Punk said, that you have to box with God or something like that, wasn't that like a Muhammad Ali line or something?
No, that was one he actually came up with. He was telling The Rock, he's like, and you're swinging for the fences, but and he goes on to say something else in between that, but then it ends with, but then you're going to step in the ring with me, and you're going to realize that your arms are just too short to box with God.
Hell yeah.
I don't think he made that up though, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
I think he pulled a slight reference, but it was definitely off the cuff, because he was going through that speech, definitely using metaphors. So
yeah,
it was
another thing that definitely, for me, I understand why you put him on your Mount Rushmore. The pipe bomb.
Yes.
One of the best promos that he ever put out, because Vince told him right before he left, just go out there, let it all out. The pipe bomb is one of the most important promos of all time.
It's the most important promo of the last 25 years. That's for certain.